Hey guys, how are you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show. This is episode number 180, and I'm going to call this one warm baths versus parties. Warm baths versus parties. And I'll tell you why. Because one is exciting and explosive, and one you can have anytime you want. It's always there. It's always the same sensation, and sometimes you take it for granted. That's just the way it is. And I talked before about people leaving their spouses or cheating on their spouses because it's not exciting anymore. Oh, I'm bored. Oh, they're not exciting. But the funny thing about it is a lot of times you don't realize that you're taking something really, really good for granted. The party is exciting because it's new, right? You're outside. You're dancing around in the club. There's a lot of music going on. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's laughing and joking and having a great time. But parties are unique and special events. They're events. Like the Super Bowl is an event. Your birthday is an event. That barbecue that you have once a year is an event. It's an event. And yeah, you had a great time. And no, going into your warm bubble bath is not as exciting. But which one's better for you? Having a nice, warm, muscle relaxing bath, or drinking and dancing around in the club until 3 o'clock in the morning? Bad things can happen to you at the club. Not maybe on one specific occasion, but how many of us know someone that kept partying all the time? And what happens when you party all the time? You're constantly drinking. You're constantly exposed to dangers of the world. You're constantly exposed to somebody who could possibly be dropping something in your drink. You're out there all the time. You may even have had more to drink than you think, and you get behind the wheel of a car and you may have an accident. There may be a bar fight. You may run into somebody and you shouldn't be around, and you might wind up getting in trouble because you're around that person. What are the perils of being in your bubble bath? You forget to make a phone call because you didn't get out fast enough. Maybe your skin's a little pruny because you stayed in too long. Okay, you gotta scrub the bathtub afterwards. Those are the dangers. Those are the things we got to worry about. Those are the problems. Relationships are just like that. That person is not exciting, will jump in front of a bullet for you. That person is not exciting, comes home to you every day. That person is not exciting, made kids with you, and they were exciting when you met them. But just like that warm bubble bath, because you can have them all the time, and because they're always around, and because you've experienced them a whole bunch of times, they don't seem exciting anymore. But don't be fooled, because the parties won't be exciting if you do them every night. Go to somebody who's a party planner. Ask them how exciting parties are to them. Go to someone who works behind the bar or who's a DJ. Ask them how exciting parties are to them. They're not exciting to them at all because they're at parties all the time. Right? If you really think about it logically. People get confused because you have that new chemical in your mind when you're going out with a new person. It's a new chemical. It's exciting, but it's fleeting. It goes away after a while. How many times have you seen people who are in show business or entertaining in some way, or entertainers or some kind of celebrity or athlete or something like that, gorgeous face, perfect body, and all of that kind of crap, and guess what happens? Their spouse still tells them, go take out the trash, right? They're not exciting to them. They were a party in the beginning because look at them. They look great, but you get used to whatever you have. Whatever you have, you get used to it, no matter how amazing it is. Think about the Elon Musks of the world and the Jeff Bezoses of the world and the Bill Gates of the world and the Warren Buffetts of the world. Those people have so much money, they literally couldn't spend it even if they tried to. And what a lot of these guys do, not Warren Buffett, what a lot of these guys do when they have money like that, all of a sudden, they got to go jumping off cliffs, right? They got to build airplanes and then fly them, experimental airplanes. They got to go into space. What are they looking for? They're looking for that excitement. They got to get it on with a whole bunch of different women that they don't really care about, but because they look good and other guys can't get near them, I got to jump on top of as many of these women as possible because I want to prove I'm the best. It's exciting. But even that becomes boring after a while. If you're the kind of person who's so successful, so powerful that you literally can have any other person that you want for the most part as in a romantic partner, does it really matter how attractive the man or woman is? when you know you can have them anytime you want to, and you could discard them if you want to and just replace them with someone else? You see these celebrities that have access to all these incredible, delicious women, and what do? They date them for 6 months, they date them for a year, they break up with them, and they go get the next one. Why? Most guys would kill to have one woman like these rock stars and these movie stars have, and they would worship that woman. Same thing with the guy, with the ladies. They would love to have the guy that rock star lady's with. They would love to have that guy that the Instagram models with, that athlete, that actor, that business person. They would love to have that person, and they would worship the ground that person walked on. But that's because they're from the outside looking in at the party. The practical application during the time when you're together, all of a sudden, once again, not exciting anymore. Sometimes that excitement is a pain in the butt. You know how many people have bought $3 million cars and were so excited about it? And they dumped all their cars. I'm only going to drive this $3 million car. And they realized, wait a second. When I had my Toyota Camry, I had my tires for 2 years. I got to replace these tires every 6 months, and each tire costs $1,500. What the heck? And the oil costs what? $5,000 for oil? What? Hey, I got a rock chip in the front of the car. You got to take the whole front panel off. It's going to cost $80,000. What the heck? It was exciting until all of a sudden you had to drive it every day. And then instead of being a $6 million car, you rich guy, it's just your car. And now it's like, who cares? And you got 5 of them. Who cares now? They're just cars to you. We have to learn to respect the bubble bath. The bubble bath is a good thing. It feels good to come home to somebody who understands you, because the exciting person, the person that you're sneaking off to the hotel room with, the party, they don't know what your breath smells like in the morning, because you ain't never there in the morning. They don't know about your traumatic childhood. They don't know about the problems you had in high school and college. They don't know about what you like on your eggs in the morning. They don't know anything about that. They just know, get clothes off, jump on top. That feels great. That was fun. Gotta go. That's all they know. I remember a friend of mine, not a close friend, but a friend, like a friend of a friend, an acquaintance. You have an inner circle of friends that you see all the time, and you have another one circle out is somebody you see a few times a week, and then another circle out is somebody you see a couple times a month. He was in the couple times a month category. We knew each other. We hung out every once in a while, but I knew his life, and I knew his family, and I knew him. And he was working in an office because he wasn't part of the comedy community. And I won't be more specific than that. Right? He was working there. And he had a wonderful wife. His wife was a cutie patootie. She was a sweet woman. She was a good looking, really nice, sweet woman. Smart, great, loved him. But a word lady started working in the office. And you ever see somebody that's so good looking, when you see them in the regular world, you're looking at them like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you see regular beautiful women, and then there's like, the same thing with dudes, like some dude who's so good looking, you're looking at this guy like, shouldn't you be shooting a movie somewhere or something, or singing on the stage, or doing some modeling or something? Somebody like that. And she was devastating, because he showed a picture of her, and I'm like, why are you showing pictures of somebody that's not your wife? Is what I was thinking. And I mean, the kind of woman that when you see her, like, you make a sound, like, so let me see this picture. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like, let me see, man, how fine is this woman? I've seen fine women before. Let me see this picture. Oh, one of those. And he had a little power in his particular workplace. And he was a nice looking guy too, by the way. So what happened? Oh, all of a sudden, she starts flirting with him. And at first it was one of those I still got it type situations. He wasn't that much older than her. They weren't different. The age difference wasn't enough where you'd look at him and go, what is he doing with her? They were close enough. And she flirts with him. And at first, like I said, it was one of those I still got it type situations with him. And then she started really flirting with him and making it clear that this just wasn't playful or harmless flirting. She was serious about it. And she was the aggressor. And he saw her and he was like, excuse the way I'm saying this, but this is the way he was thinking, and this is how he described it. He said, man, she was flirting with me at first, and I thought it was just like, no big deal. You flirt. I never touched her, nothing like that. I didn't have anything to do with her employment, so I was cool on that score. But when she made it clear that I could do what I needed to do, I could enjoy some of that. This is his language, not mine. When I knew I could get some of that, when I knew I could get up, I was like, I got to have some of this. I got to know what this is like. Right? So he found a way to get alone with her. He slide off to a hotel room, right? And she tore his behind up. She tore him up. He, you know what I'm saying? She went to town on him. She was like, she was trying to make it a point like, look, you belong to me now. She destroyed him, right? All sorts of weird crap she was doing to and with him. And he described it to me, and I was like, why is this guy telling me this? I don't want to hear this crap. I don't like hearing about what other people do to each other in bed. But I did steal a couple of those ideas. Moving on. Don't judge me. Shut up. Right? And he felt guilty. And he stopped. He's like, I can't do this again. This is wrong. I mean, I love my wife. I love my family. And even though she tore my behind up, I can't do it again. And it's kind of hard when somebody wears you out. Like you've been in, like, think about in the relationships where say you haven't been with your spouse in a while. No, not because you have a problem, you're fighting or anything like that, but because, the kids, jobs, it's been a few days, maybe a week, might even be 2 weeks because everything's so hectic and the kids just won't go to sleep. And then all of a sudden they go away for a summer camp and they're going to be gone for 6 weeks. And you and your wife are home, and it's been 2 weeks since you did anything. And you're so glad they're gone. You love your kids, but the second the second you put them on the bus and you see that but you get back in the car and dad go in there, get speeding tickets on the way home, and you go home and you destroy each other. I mean, the bed looks like a pile of matchsticks. You just tear each other down. You've been waiting 2 weeks for that, and you finally got it, and you blow each other out. You know how you look at each other the next morning after you destroyed each other. You know how when your wife's walking by and her delicious buttocks is jiggling in that robe, and you're thinking about what happened 7 hours before, and you're like, I can't even think straight. And you know what it's like, ladies, when you look at us after we really gave you the business. I remember with a lady I was with one time, and I went to town. We did some really good business, and I know what it's like when it's like, could you look at my eyes, please? She's like, no, I'd rather look at that. I'm like, well, all right. Right? So she blew him out. She destroyed him. All sorts of weird crap he didn't do with his wife. And he couldn't stop thinking about it. She's walking around. He's looking at her body. She's jiggling all that. Which is under normal circumstances, you don't want to be a pig. And if somebody walks by and they look at you, take a quick peek and you're like, okay, that's enough. I don't want to be a creep. But he's drooling all over the place. Can't stop thinking about it. And she's turning on the charm. She's like, I got this sucker. And they sneak off to the hotel room again. She demolishes him again and again and again and again. She's destroying him. And he can't stop thinking about what she did to him in that bedroom in that hotel room. They even tried to get the same room. And eventually he gets addicted to her destroying him like that. And his wife finds out and they separate. And he's sad that his marriage is over. But now he's like, man, as bad as that was, I'm sorry my marriage is over. But I'm going to give me a steady diet of that, Jack. And he does get a steady diet of that, Jack, using his words, not mine. But see, now it's not just that. Now it's everyday problems and personality and spending time together. And he didn't really know that woman other than the fact that he liked to put his face on her soft parts and rub on her stuff. That's all he knew. But then he realized as a human being, she's a sweetheart of a lady, but not compatible with him. When they weren't doing that or they weren't playfully flirting in the same office building, it will, like I said, you go to the party every day. You go to a party every night. All of a sudden, it's not as much fun putting on those stupid glowing bands and drinking the drinks all the time and listening to the same stupid music, which was fun when you were dancing, when you went to that party 2 times a year. But now you're going to the party every night and it's the same music. And those drinks, I don't want to drink this much. And people bumping into me. It was cool when I came here one time and everybody's like bumping into me and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I better protect my wallet. What the heck am I doing here? Because you fell in love with the party. And you let the warm bath go. You let his warm bath go. And sometimes when you let the warm bath go because you want to go to the party, you're not allowed back in the tub. You wanted to get back in the tub. He missed that warm water washing over his body, metaphorically speaking. He missed those bubble baths, metaphorically speaking. He missed that. He missed the kids not looking at him with a slight ugh, because they know what he did. It was pretty apparent in the divorce. They know what he did. Ugh. They still love their dad, but ew, Dad, come on, Dad. Why, Dad? No, Dad. And his friends still liked him, but they looked at him sideways like, she was a good woman, man. Why'd you do that bull stuff? Right? He kind of wanted to take you back, but she couldn't stop because you were like rubbing it in her face about how happy you were with the other woman because you were just thinking about getting it on. But then all of a sudden you realize like the grass is usually not greener on the other side. It just looks greener till you get there. And he let the warm bath go. And he never got the warm bath back. I mean, he found another warm bath, but there was still a part of him that wanted his original warm bath back. And no, sorry, brother. Somebody else is now in that warm bath. Someone is now married to your ex-wife. Someone who actually appreciates her. Someone who doesn't like to go to parties unless it's a party with her. And your kids like the guy too. Because he makes their mom happy. And you didn't. You used to until you decided to go off to the party. You used to, but you don't now. Because you messed up. Parties are great. But you got to make sure you know what party you're going to. And you got to make sure who you're going to the party with. You could go to that hotel room with your wife. I've been in relationships where, there was certain weird crap we used to do with each other. But I was like, you know what? Let's not do this all the time because it's going to get boring. Let's save that for when we occasionally go off to a hotel room. We'll do the weird crap there and then we'll come back and be normal, even though I'm not really normal, if you understand what I'm saying. I still give that good deep business. Don't judge me. Anyway. But if you have a choice between one or the other, in my humble opinion, one should always choose the warm bath. Really nothing bad can happen with the warm bath. It's your choice to decide to make whatever is exciting. I can make the woman that I'm with exciting to me all the time, but I'm wired that way. There was a girlfriend that I was with, and she was always like, why do you always look at me like that? You look at me like you never seen me naked before. I'm saying, no, see, I've seen you naked thousands of times. I get that, but I like that. I like seeing the same buttocks walk when, after a certain activity is concluded and they go to the bathroom. I like seeing the same buttocks walk to the bathroom. I like seeing the same chest yummies bouncing towards me. I love that crap. I can find something exciting about the same boobies and the same buttocks infinitely because I love this pair of boobies and this set of buttocks cheeks. You got to figure out how to do that for yourself. Because the consequences of doing the other, and I mean, every once in a while, a guy will do something stupid like that and go to the party. And like I said, I know some people don't get bored with the parties. They will go to the parties every night. How many people do? I mean, I know a bunch of people that literally go out drinking and carousing every night and love every second of it. But there's not as many of them percentage wise as the people who are smart enough to realize that the warm bath's a good thing. Like I said, if you're going to party, take your woman on a party. Figure out some weird crap to do with her. Right? Don't want to mess up your warm bath, man. Because after a long, hard day, you got your muscles all tired. You're drained out. You're overstimulated. You just need to decompress. When you have those moments, and you have those moments often, do you really want to go out and drink and have loud music? Or do you want to slide into a warm bath? You know the answer to that question, don't you? Of course you do. Protect your warm bath. Watch out for parties. You dig? Cool. All right, my friends, this has been episode 181 of the S. Anthony Thomas Show. Much love to you all. I will see you next week. Do me a favor. If you love this show, and you do, subscribe to this podcast. Spread the word about this podcast. Tell everybody you know about it. And make sure you come back every week, okay? Much love to you all, my friends. Take care.